Yes, of course. Well, first off, since Mr. Gantt had attended Iowa State University, which was to his surprise a very white school with almost little to no African American students or faculty members and staff working there, Mr. Gantt is quoted saying, "Well, as a matter of fact, Clemson turned out to be blacker." He also was quoted saying, "Then I walked into the dining hall, and here I am expecting to see a sea of white faces, and literally all over the dining room are black people." He did get racially profiled and discriminated at his time at Clemson. Gantt recalled multiple times having racial slurs said to him directly, but he was never attacked or hurt in any physical manner while at Clemson. Mr. Gantt also took many precautionary acts to avoid being discriminated, such as by not sitting close to windows, not having a roommate living with him. This obviously would be very difficult on someone no matter the circumstances, and definitely hindered his college experience here at Clemson.
That sure does take a strong will and determination to accomplish what he did. I mean, especially under the circumstance that he was under. The stress put on an average college student is already enough to break some people, but it was amazing what Mr. Gantt was able to do. I mean, now let's dive into the professional career of Mr. Gantt and his influences on the people around him. What did he do after his education was finished at Clemson and MIT?
Well, after he graduated from MIT, he chased his passion of architecture, and he started Gantt Huberman Architects, a Charlotte architectural firm, which would go on to become an award-winning design organization. Mr. Gantt was very serious about his passion for architecture and was very dedicated to his work. In 1986, he was named a Fellow in the American Institute of Architects, the highest honor granted to anyone practicing architecture.
Well, that seems to be a theme with Mr. Gantt. He's a wall breaker and very determined. Whatever he puts in front of, on his mind, he seems to accomplish that.
Exactly that. It's not about where you start, it's about where you end up. Mr. Gantt didn't grow up in the best situation, but he made the absolute best out of it. He worked really hard and persevered through all of his challenges. He is someone that all Clemson graduates can look up to.
Wow, what an awesome man. What does he do besides architecture?